Well, how you doing today?
How's it going, fellas?
Hey, we're all doing well. I appreciate your time today. After the previous game before Virginia, Coach would say it was like the loss was like a gut punch. Then you had another tough one Friday night. What is the mood of the team after two tough losses like that?
It's exactly what he said, a gut punch. Those are two really close games. We fought hard the entire game. It was trading baskets, doing what we can to stay into the game, especially that last one. We felt we were there. We felt we had to win. And, just a few mistakes, we kind of let up a little bit towards the end of the game, and that's what happened. That's what it cost us, was the game. So, feel like that was just a feeling after the game. It's like we was right there, past two games. Like we just need to finish the game, finish the deal. So, yeah.
I think you had a tip in late in that game, didn't you? You followed a shot, and it was a big part of the game. Did you feel at that point you guys, were in good position to win?
Yeah, I feel like everyone on the team was just trying to make plays to win. We wanted to do anything we could to win that game. So it was almost instinct, really. Just shot went up. I went to a crash and ball just was right there. So I went to put it up. I feel like everyone tried to just make plays to seal the game. And at that point, we did kind of feel like we were in good position to win that game.
Mo, obviously, your point guard, he had a big time three near the end of that game, and I saw you, celebrating after that. Looked like all you guys were so happy for him and just happy for your team. What did that mean for you to see a guy like someone who's worked his way up to get all this time? What did that mean to see that shot go in for him?
It's great because we're all teammates, so you always want to see your teammate, your brother, really, succeed and do good, especially when you see how much work the person put in. Literally that morning or the morning before, me and O were here, probably 8 a.m. practicing just that, like one-more passes, jump shots. And when that happened, it was almost like, that's the first thing I thought of was that day before working out. I went to him and I was like, it paid off. It's beautiful to see like the work you put in pay off. So in that moment, I was just so happy that he hit that shot. It was a big shot for us to try and win the game, but just to see the work pay off.
Gotcha. And then are you, you mentioned him, you guys were getting some extra work in. Do you think your team, like as a whole, has adopted that mindset to go get extra work in, to work that extra mile? How is that feeling in the team of the grind that you guys have?
I mean, guys are always in the gym. Got a group of guys who come in the morning. You have a group of guys who sit before practice, after practice. I'm sure there's guys who come here at night. So there's guys, like, you come anytime to the arena, and I'm sure you'll find 1 to 2 guys in here, whether they're getting up shots or even just free throws, just anything. Like, guys live in this gym.
You had sort of an offensive breakout of sorts during the UMBC game and now back in starting line. How do you feel about your development so far during the season when you had that little stretch where you couldn't play because of personal issues, but now back in the fold? How's that been for your development continuing going forward?
I think the biggest thing was just trying to stay focused, just try to stay focused and play my part to help the team win. So whether that's me starting, me coming off the bench, me having 14, me having 2 points, just doing whatever I can to help my team get the win. I feel like that's just the mentality of a lot of people on our team, and just the theme of our team is, next guy steps up, or everyone just ready to play your role. So if somebody goes down, somebody's ready to step up, and we're all happy for the next person in that instance, because we all have the same goal, and that's just wanting to win.
You guys had a rough start to the season when it comes to shooting the ball from deep. There's been improvement for the last few games. Did you guys see any difference from practice or the past couple of weeks that's made the offense start to get more of a flow?
I mean, we work on that every day. Like every day we have guys who on their own time work on it, or with a coach and during practice. And, they encourage us to shoot. No one's telling us not to shoot or anything like that. I feel like for most of us, and this is probably every player around the country deals with this at some point, it's it's a confidence thing. Same with the pros. You know, you have shooters who go through a cold streak and they may second guess themselves. But, you know, when you put that work in, I feel that you always got to trust in your work. And we work on shooting threes. So once we get in the game, and like you said, in that first few games, we kind of have a rough patch and everything, but that shouldn't discourage us to stop shooting because we've shot thousands of shots before. So now that we see that, we kind of already knew that eventually the shots were going to fall. You know, we just had to stick with it and not be discouraged.
Speaking of not being discouraged, you've had two very close calls against power conference teams in Minnesota and Virginia. Coming up now is Colgate and Monmouth, two very capable mid-major teams. Is the program expectations to beat these teams now that you know that you are capable of getting these wins or at least playing competitive against top 100 caliber programs?
I mean, I feel like we treat every game the same, whether that's against Virginia or Colgate or whoever. We want to get the win. We don't look down on our opponents, whatever the name of the school may be, you know, because at the end of the day, it's still a basketball game. You still got to go out there for 48 minutes and give your effort in order to secure the win. So I feel like we treat – I mean, obviously some games are bigger than other games just because of outside hype or whatever it may be. But and when it comes to us and our team and our mentality, I feel like we treat every game the same. We got to go out there and win no matter what.
Jamarius, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. How's the rest of the team and yourself doing after those two tough losses on last-second shots in the last couple of weeks?
I think we're still with high energy and encouraged. I think the last game was our best game all season long. You know, we've been fighting. We've been coming up short, but I think we're still growing and learning along the way.
Is the process in playing those teams and playing them tough maybe even more important than the result at the end because you guys, you know, built some confidence amongst yourselves?
I mean, I feel like it's an experience that's going to help us. Regardless of the outcome, we can take some things from the game. And like I said, I think last game was our best game as a collective unit. So we're looking to build on it.
What did you guys do better in those two games, especially the Virginia game, that maybe you guys weren't doing earlier in the season?
I just think our communication was better on offensively and defensively. We moved the ball a lot better, and we took a lot of good shots. I mean, obviously there were some things we could work on, but I feel like we were playing together more as a unit in these past two games.
How do you feel individually, you know, your shooting has been, how do you feel confidence-wise in your shooting ability?
I'm not getting discouraged. For me, I know that this is probably the worst I've ever shot in my career right now, but I'm not discouraged. I understand that I'm coming back from a surgery and I'm working my way back. So for me, it's just remaining confident, continuing to take good shots and empower my guys to keep taking good shots as well, regardless of make or miss.
You mentioned the surgery. How is the knee?
The knee is good. I'm making progress each and every day, so that's good.
So Femi was out the other night against Virginia. Not sure about his status coming up, but how did it feel for you and O? You know, you guys were pretty much the lone guards in that game. How confident are you in your ball handling ability, you know, taking care of the ball down the stretch, as well as O's, you know, being the two guards?
For me, I have experience doing it. So for me, it didn't matter. For O, I feel like he's prepared for an opportunity like that last game. So we all have the confidence in him to handle the ball in big moments. And I mean, he took a big shot in a big moment. So we all have confidence in him. So when one guy goes down, it's next man up mentality, and I feel like we did that to the best of our ability last game.
Jamarius, there seemed to have been a change in Coach Capel's lineups the past couple of games when it comes to having two ball handlers on the court as much as possible. How has that affected your game positively lately?
For me, it just allows another ball handler out there, allows me to run the floor and try to make an impact on the game in other ways. I've had experience of playing on and off the ball, so for me, it really doesn't matter. for me, I'm just glad that we're taking care of the basketball and our turnovers was down the last game. So that's something that we should keep trying to strive for the next game.
Looking ahead to the matchup against Colgate, this is a team that scored 100 points on the road at Syracuse early in the season. What's the early scouting report going up against their guards and their experienced players?
For us, it's treating everyone like they're a shooter, closing out with high hands, and everybody being aware of the scouting report. And I think if we do that, we should be fine tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys.